Hi, it's Wolfie Glaley. I'm here with Jason Real Camera and San Joaquin Valley Transparency, and we're on the Cannabis Talk 101 podcast on iHeartRadio.
Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. The Cannabis Talk 101 Experience. 10-time Grammy Award-winning and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Carlos Santana.
I am Carlos Santana. I'm here with Cannabis Talk 101, inviting you to expand your consciousness and your vision.
Singer, rapper, songwriter, and actor Machine Gun Kelly.
Tell me what's going down out there. How'd you feel going down?
Dog, I smoked a blunt that made me cough for a whole song, bro.
NBA superstar Kobe Bryant.
Joe Grande, that's my man. Joe know what's up.
From the HBO hit series Entourage and Ballers, it's writer, director, and executive producer Rob Weiss.
Hey, it's Rob Weiss. Check me out on Cannabis Talk 101.
Rapper and actor Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Be Real at Be Real TV Studios just got out of the smoke box.
Rapper and actor The Game.
Like the cops, what's
I'm
into that?
not discussing my day. Cannabis Talk.
I'm not
Television host and executive producer Tosh.0.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained or am I free to go?
Nationally syndicated radio host and actor Big Boy.
Hey, Cannabis Talk 101 here with special guest Big Boy.
Former NBA professional basketball player and TV host Matt Barnes.
What up? This is Matt Barnes. You can catch me on Cannabis Talk 101. Make sure you don't miss it.
Television host, actor, and motivational speaker Montel Williams.
Back up and say, I use a little marijuana every once in a blue moon.
Rapper, media personality, actor, and businessman Snoop Dogg.
And if detained, what do you say? I go there. Miss Snoop, what do you do? Shut the up. Shut up and never consent to a search. You dig? And keep smoking.
Comedian and cannabis activist Tommy Chong.
Hey, this is Tommy Chong, and I'm on Cannabis Talk 101.
Actor and comedian Michael Rappaport.
And we are here with Michael Rappaport, and we are going to review that script for you.
Conservative political consultant Roger Stone.
We have Roger Stone.
Political strategist. How you doing today, sir?
Excellent. Glad to be with you.
NBA champion, TV host, actor, and wellness advocate John Sally.
Man, it's Cannabis Talk 101 with Blue, the Pot Brothers at Law, and Joe Grande, and now Mr. John Sally.
Right.
Record producer, rapper, DJ, and actor Redman.
And then Redman, what do you do?
Shut the up.
Brandon Moreno, UFC flyweight champion.
Hey guys, I'm Brandon Moreno, the UFC fighter.
American actor, comedian, and former rapper from the group Kid and Play, Christopher Kid Reed.
It's all about Cannabis Talk 101.
Record producer and rapper, Too Short.
Oh, it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday. We're with Too Short.
Actor and producer Matthew McConaughey.
And Moondog, what do you do? Shut the fuck up.
Politician and retired professional wrestler Jesse Ventura.
America will be great when America turns its face and heads to the future. And one of the future is cannabis.
It's Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. With Blue, Joe Grande, Mark and Craig Wasserman, the Pot Brothers at Law. Listen to the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show now.
Hello and welcome to Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. My name's Blue. Alongside of me is the world famous Joe Grande and Mark and Craig Wasserman, the Pot Brothers at Law. Joe, let us know what's going down on the show.
Well, thank you guys for listening.
Bay Area famous.
Yeah, at least the B area. Definitely the Bay Area, right? And all over California.
Shots fired.
I don't know what he's attacking me for. I'd never say anything about that guy. Craig, I love you, by the way. Thank you for being a part of the show today. And you too, Mark. You look wonderful.
Yeah,
what's that hair product you're using today? Camel milk?
All natural.
I love it, man. And thank you guys for listening to the show all around the world. If you ever want to call us up and say hello, it's 800-420-1980. And follow us online on the website and all social media at Cannabis Talk 101. And, of course, Mark and Craig are at pot_brothers_at_law. Well, Mark personally is at Waslaw. Craig is at Waslaw Dog. Blue is at 1 Christopher Wrights.
Hello.
I am at Joe Grande 52. And Cannabis Talk 101, October 9th and 10th, will be at the Counterculture Convention, otherwise known as C3 in Houston, Texas, at the George Brown Convention Center. Counterculture Convention brings together all the top lifestyle brands and products which are pushing the culture forward.
Yes.
C3 will connect consumers and customers with their favorite brands, artists, and so much more, while at the same time introducing the next big thing. Come on out there and hang out with us once again, October 9th and 10th at C3. And when you talk about the next big thing, Blue, I like these gentlemen that we have here today. We have some great guests, you guys. And Mark and Craig, I'm so glad you're here because I can't wait to hear some legal questions that you ask these cats. We got San Joaquin, otherwise personally known as David. Thank you, David, for coming here, but otherwise known as San Joaquin online at San Joaquin Valley Transparency. He's basically a journalist who loves the film The Police. You can find him on YouTube at San Joaquin Valley Transparency, and he's out of the Bay Area, correct?
No, I'm actually out of Bakersfield, California.
Bakersfield,
Yeah,
just
Kern
before
County.
the Bay. I knew you weren't in LA, but that's right. You're out there in Bakersfield.
Right.
Where shit happens off the 5 out there.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this, but Kern County is considered the deadliest police force in the nation. They have the most killings for police justified killings. So
I mean, it's all around here. It's like an armpit of California, Bakersfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you're from
fucking hater,
Killicalla. No, I'm just saying, he's heard it. He's
Jump
from
him
out
after the
there.
show.
It's that. It's Fresno. My parents both died in Fresno. They lived there. It's all those cities out there in that area. He knows it. I'm not bashing. I'm just calling it what we say it is. You know what I mean? Although them Bulldogs are looking good this year. Have you seen Fresno State, boy? They just took out UCLA. Anyhow, and Oregon State. That's some college football talk. But we also have Jay from Jay Surreal out of Florida. He's actually a camera journalist as well who loves filming the police. You can check out his YouTube page, Jay Surreal Camera. Jay, thank you so much for coming out here. You got some gold fronts there too, I see.
Yeah, I do.
Look at him. Look at him. His grill looks like a shiny one. I'm loving it there.
Thank you.
And Wolfie Gladly. He's also a YouTuber at Wolfie Gladly. You could find him on YouTube, Wolfie Gladly TV. He's out of New Jersey. He's the furthest one. Thank you, brother, for coming out here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with you, Sam Joaquin. It's so funny because I get a call. Shout out to OG Louis the 13th. Good old Louis Lou.
OG Louis.
Louis Lou and you were hanging out, so you're probably picking up some product from him. Who knows? But we don't know for sure.
Here we
The point
go.
is, I get a call from him saying, Joe, you got to meet this guy. You got to talk to this guy because he's doing amazing things online. The funny thing is Louis Lou don't sell wolf tickets. He doesn't do anything like that remotely. If he says something's good about something,
it's good.
He's solid. Like, you know what I mean? Off top, I was like, let's connect, give him my number, do whatever. As I mentioned you in our office, Blue yells out in the background, hold on, San Joaquin Valley Transparency?
Fuck with him.
What?
Yeah.
I know that dude. I know what I'm doing. I know what he's doing. So let's start with you, San Joaquin. How did you get started and why did you get started doing this?
Well, basically, man, a lot of it stems from cannabis as well. You know, when I was a kid, carrying cannabis in your pocket is very scary, you know, and it carried a bad stigma. Even as old as I am now, I still feel a little bit of like some fire in my pocket, like, oh shit, can they see it burning? You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of element of fear there.
Oh yeah. What are they gonna do if they catch me? What are they gonna do if they pull it out? It's legal. And I still feel nervous. Same thing here. It's in my car and I'm nervous. I got these cartridges. Oh no. What do you mean? You're not gonna go to jail for those? I mean,
He's got one and shit.
Yeah, I got one. And I'm like, it's
world's ending,
CBD.
huh?
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm nervous. I feel you. My point is, I understand what you're saying.
Right. And first of all, I seen a news segment on my television. I was like, wow, I live in the deadliest police force in the nation, and I figured I would go out and start recording myself. You know, I reached out to a couple channels. I started recording and I started my own channel. And after that, the element of fear just went away. Now when I see cops, I don't run away from them. I run towards them. I want to record them. I'm like Quick Draw McGraw, you know, when it's like my phone is like my gun. I'm out right away, and it takes practice, you know, to actually pull it out and not even think, could I get a shot or nothing like that. No,
Scary. It's scary.
It is.
You know, I've been around police officers myself, and I'm like, damn, I should be filming this. And you know, I'm down to do it from like back in the cutty, but to get where you guys are like in there, like, hey, fool, shut up, yeah, shut up, you servant. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow. You know, and it's difficult because you know it's scary. So continue though.
Right. So you know, just recording police, I got rid of that fear. And I think in reality, that's how people should be living without the fear of police. You know, if you're not doing anything wrong, if you're out there screwing up, then you know
you should be afraid. Yeah.
And on my channel, I try not to be political. I don't lean left. I don't lean right. I want to keep it simple and preserve the First Amendment, and that's it. It would amaze you to see that on my channel, a high percentage in the high 90s of the videos that we produce, and I'm out there asking questions. Cops don't know the First Amendment. How is that a sustainable system where the cops are not knowing the first law of the land and our kids are not being taught the Constitution or even the First Amendment in school? How is this a sustainable system? how can we keep going on like this?
Sure.
Mark and Craig, don't you guys have a push on this? Can't you guys make people, let alone the law enforcement?
Well, I mean, that's what we're trying to. That's what we're trying to do with our message, is to peacefully engage with law enforcement and assert your rights. Assert your rights politely, but assert your rights. People, I mean, like you're saying, it's so true that people are afraid to assert their rights. They think, oh no, if I tell them I'm not discussing my day, because you don't want to lie to them. That's why we have that one line in the script is, you don't want to answer their questions. You don't need to. You're under no obligation to. You're just going to screw yourself. So instead of being a smart ass, it's just, I'm not discussing my day. And people, well, fuck, if I do that, then they're going to think I'm hiding something. Right. If I don't let them consent, if I don't consent to a search, they're going to think I'm hiding something.
Yeah.
Like, these are your rights. Yeah. And you shouldn't have to be afraid. And I'm telling you, we get so many DMs from across the country, the back east, the deep south, that the script works for everybody. And works means, now a lot of times the cop will go on to the next guy who's going to fuck themselves and incriminate themselves and make it easy for them, so they let you go. But that's not what the script does, or that's not what the real outcome, when it works, is when they ultimately arrest you. You've said nothing to incriminate yourself. And we had one of these DMs from somebody, real good case of how this is how it works. He sat in jail for 8 hours, stuck to his guns, didn't incriminate himself, and he was let go, never charged.
Sure.
That's where it really works.
Yeah. It's nice to see that work right there. And Jay from Jay Surreal Camera, you're out in Florida.
Yes.
I mean, and let's just call it what it is. As I look at you, dog, you got the tattoos on the face, the arms, you got the look of, a little street vibe going on. So it's not like you don't have facial tattoos and piercings even on your face, and you got a grilled out grill.
Yeah.
So you filming the police, I'm going to roll the dice and say, is it maybe a little more risque for a cat? Like I would say, I would looking at you and judging a book by its cover going, fuck, are they coming at you going, hey man, what are you doing?
Yeah,
We're
your idea. Exactly. You're on parole, aren't you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
they've asked me that. They always ask me that. They always look down on me. You can sense it when somebody's profiling you. Exactly, profiling. You can sense it, and they do that to me a lot.
I thought you said look down because you were short. I was like, yeah, well,
you know what? Yeah, well,
There we go. But
I still took advantage of the joke.
So I started filming in Miami. Thanks to my friend here, David. And
what do you mean thanks to David? I'm curious on how that relationship came about.
I'm a tattoo artist, and then one day I was on YouTube and I saw videos of people talking to the police, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't know you could talk to the police like this. I didn't know we had these rights. I come from a Latin background, so I was never taught my rights. So David was one of the first channels I saw, and then I reached out to him one day. I got pulled over. And basically, I filmed everything. So I ended up sending it to him. He was my first subscriber, and he's the one that gave me that push. So I thank him. And then we spoke on the phone, and he started teaching me my rights. He started telling me, look, you have the right to do this, you could do this, you could do that. And I found it very interesting because I really didn't know growing up I had all these rights. I was always getting harassed.
Isn't that funny? As us minorities, I felt the same way too. Even with Mark and Craig, with the script that they did, I kept arguing with them, going, "No, that doesn't work for us. That doesn't
for
work
you, dog." You know what I'm saying?
And I thought so, and it is. But like they say, which I give them so much credit for, is like, Joe, even if you get your ass whooped and blah blah, that could happen. But as long as you shut the fuck up and follow the script and plead the fifth, you got your best chances of getting away with everything and your best chances of suing them and all this good stuff. Yeah. So you're right. I had no idea about those either, dog. So
me neither.
It was. I agree. None of that. You could film the police.
Yeah.
Even I bet today you go down the street. I bet if we did that in the hood. What do you think? Can you film the police?
Look,
hell no.
I mean, no. Back in the day, if you try that shit, they just beat your ass. Right. I mean, and where I grew up at, like I don't, like a lot of people don't.
That's what I mean. That would happen in a heartbeat.
So when you have this conversation, now it's a day and age where there are a lot more cameras. There's a lot more people with the eye on you. So and it never really was flipped on the workers that were there to protect us when we thought they were here to protect us, when really they were jamming us up in neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like when we grew up, they jammed us up. There was no hey, step out of the car. It was like, get the fuck out of the car, and bam, up against the shit, and you were getting the whole program. Now I think they're a little more conscious of that, and I think it's finally rightfully so that they're that conscious, and you guys are doing this work out there. And you know, I've heard you say it. I'm not here to you know, I'm only here to make sure they're doing the right thing. I'm not here to make them bad people. I'm here to make them do the right thing.
Well, they're like us. We're not anti-cop.
Yeah,
we're not anti-cop. We're anti-bad cop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We need policing. We need good policing.
Do people think that about you guys, Craig? Sometimes though, do people label you guys?
Yeah,
as
we
that?
get fucking police and shit like that, and we're really we're not about that. You know, you can say what you want. I don't judge. I mean, there's a lot of bad fucking police, so you know.
I'm sure. Jay, do you guys get that as well? And Dave, do you guys
justified?
Oh,
no,
Dade County.
But our platform isn't about
that's
that.
Miami-Dade. They're known as the most corrupt cops since the '80s.
Yeah,
so,
that's all.
Where you at? That's where
I'm at.
Oh, you're in the bad cop.
I'm in Miami.
I'm like, I know exactly.
That's like, I mean, come on.
Well, you know what, guys? Is it time for a break? I had something to say.
No, go ahead. You can say something. Let's continue because we got to still.
No, but it just goes to show you that with more and more people like yourselves filming the police, that the people filming the police, for the most part, aren't getting beat up. They're not getting arrested.
Yep.
You know, it may happen from time to time still, but it just shows you that asserting your rights peacefully and respectfully. You know, we tell people all the time, hey, I'm gonna get my ass beat if I say that shit. It doesn't work for me. Well, guess what? Whether you say what we tell you or not, you pick that, or you get unlucky enough to have that bad cop, he's kicking your ass no matter what you say.
No matter what.
So if you listen to what we say and he still kicks your ass,
at least
you're going to have a goddamn good case.
Defense.
You know what, Mark and Craig? I still, to this day, that's the one thing that I give you guys that you made clear to me, and I think you made clear to everybody, because that's the rebuttal that wins. That rebuttal right there, Craig wins. I'm like, okay, you know what? You win right there with that response. Because
it's about preserving those rights, remedies, and defenses. That's what shutting the fuck up does, and sticking to the script.
Now let's get to Wolfie Gladly. He's a YouTuber as well. Wolfie Gladly TV out of New Jersey. Same question, Wolfie. What got you into this? I mean, I hope now Jay called you and said,
paid it for it.
Órale pues, bueno, ¿qué onda? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, I started about 3 years ago. I saw pretty much the same story as Jay. I saw people doing this around the country, and I looked at my area in the southern New Jersey, Philadelphia area, and noticed that there wasn't many people doing this around here. And I knew that the cops, especially in New Jersey, have a real bad rap. So I figured, why don't I test the waters? I used to remember. I'm nearing 40 years old now.
Damn, you look young. That's a good thing.
When I was a kid, I used to get messed with all the time, pulled over. They do it to young people all the time. Young people and poor people.
Yes.
They pick on them. So I remember this happening to me back when I was a young adolescent. And I wanted to be there for the new young adolescents.
Yeah.
Because we're in a whole new world where it's a different wave. It's even a stronger wave. You see the police are getting more arrogant, and I just wanted to catch it on camera and let all the people in my area know that they had somebody recording for them too.
Nice. I think you guys are doing the Lord's work, man. I mean, seriously, because as you guys sit there and do that, the more people see it, it becomes a safer environment for them, like, right? And if someone's breaking the law and doing something, they ran a red light, or you're fucking drinking and driving, then you know what? You do the crime, do the time. And I think we're all for that, right?
Of course.
No one's saying don't give somebody the ticket.
Of course.
But you don't got to slam them on the fucking ground.
Exactly.
You don't got to beat the dude up or woman up, especially in front of their kids or this and that, right? So it's like, and I don't think any of you guys are against that, saying, no, don't do your job. Cops, just do your job in the right way.
Well,
it's not to harass, it's to serve and protect.
Yeah, they hate when they see our cameras, right? So they always say officer safety. So what I tell them is, officer safety, let me ask you something. In the past 30 years, how many cameramen have killed officers? They all stay shut.
I like to say this one.
That's a good one.
I like to say this one. Officer safety is cowardice. Public safety, now that's heroism, right?
Yeah.
The people's safety, that's heroism. That's what you took the job for, is to protect the people, not to protect yourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, those are two good ones. Wolfie, I hope you got a good punchline right now, too. I'm looking at you like, did you come up with a good one, too?
Well, I just wanted to point out the other night we had an officer on Hollywood Boulevard. They had all these kids pulled out of the car. They had the back seat pulled out and on the sidewalk where the stars are. these kids, they had them in zip ties along the sidewalk, and we tried to get in there to get a good angle and to hear and see, because we want to hear what's going on too.
Yeah.
And the cops pushed us back, taped off the sidewalk, pushed us back 35 feet. But the point I'm trying to explain here is what I told the cop is the Derek Chauvin video was way closer than this. And she got a Pulitzer Prize for journalism.
Wow. Yep. Wow.
And that's what you guys are, journalism. So let's take a break real quick. It's Cannabis Talk 101. Here with San Joaquin Valley Transparency, Jay Surreal Camera, and Wolfie Gladly TV. All YouTubers, all cannabis friendly, and all serving and protecting a community near you. It's Cannabis Talk 101. We'll be right back after this.
It's Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. With Blue, Joe Grande, Mark and Craig Wasserman, the Pot Brothers-in-Law. Listen to the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show now.
Welcome back to Cannabis Talk 101. Man, you know, this show is dear to my heart because what you gentlemen are doing, again, it's like Joe said, it's like God's work, man. And, you know, it's very, it's ballsy. You know, it's like I could just imagine, like, you almost feel, because I've seen you, you know, out there, David, with, you know, where you're filming police, and then some random dude runs up like, "What's up, man? Why you guys fucking with the cop?" And he's like, "Bro, we're not fucking with the cop. We're just recording." And he's all up in your face, and he's like, and you're like, and now you're the asshole. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I'm like watching this dude, and I mean,
I've been on San Joaquin Valley Transparency.
I've seen both of their. I think I've seen all three of their stuff, just from his page, and then linking over and trapping over to this one, just because you know I've been around it, and but I've spent many hours, dude, watching. You know, I think all of your guys' stuff, and you know, it's a difficult job, you know, because it's a job, first of all, you know, and one of my first thoughts and questions, I guess, would be, do you guys carry like you know, a police scanner so you know where they're at, so you could follow the thing? Or are you just driving around looking for cops? I mean, how?
Sometimes
we do, a little bit of both.
Yeah, he's like, don't give up the juice, Blue.
No, in reality, though, it's because a lot of the police officers, a lot of the departments now, they're trying to be hip to what we're doing, so they're trying to scramble the radios and stuff like that. They're trying to go offline, or they're trying to do different things so that we don't actually hear the calls.
Gotcha.
Everyone has a scanner in their phone on the app.
Right. Oh, really?
What is that? Hip everybody to it.
If you just search up police scanner, you'll find the top rated one that you want to find.
Really? They try to encrypt them. They try to encrypt them, though. That's what happens.
So I know you guys have some questions too for the lawyers, but I want each of you to answer this question first.
Cool. Yes.
Craziest video you've ever videoed, and what happened, whether it was, you know, they got the shit kicked out of them, you almost went to jail, you went to jail, you got handcuffed. What's one of those videos you could describe? Because like Blue said, and he's witnessed, what you guys are doing, and I don't care, Wolfie Gladly, how young you look, you know, and you may think you get a pass because he looks Caucasian, this and that, right? But you're out there with the camera. I'm sure they're pissed off at you in New Jersey and in Philly. So let's start with you, San Joaquin, the craziest video that you can go to, like, oh man, this one was just it.
You guys are gonna trip out on this, okay? This is here in Los Angeles at the LAPD training facility. It was behind Dodger Stadium, and we went there, and we didn't know like exactly how far in we could go. We just started walking in there. There's absolutely no trespassing signs throughout the whole thing. It felt like we were in a Grand Theft Auto game, just roaming the compound. We went in there to the shooting range all the way through the back. We walked everything.
Yep.
I remember that. Everything in the
cameras rolling, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the record, the history for most cops called on a First Amendment audit. They set up like we were protesting. They had the helicopters. It was crazy.
The hoodos like that came up because you guys were in their facility.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Well.
So what happened then? What happened?
It was the training. It was the training facility. Like I said, there's no trespassing signs, so we didn't get in trouble. There's nothing wrong that we did, right?
So they brought all these cops out there to fuck with you guys. What they do?
They all got dismissed.
They thought it was a protest.
They all had to.
How many were you with?
It was me. Jay Surreal Camera, it was my son, and I also got to tell you, 3 of my sons do this as well with me. My youngest son, Nate Skates, 182's channel, he's been recording cops with me since he was 14, so he's pretty brave as well. He was with us that day. My other son, Nicky, his channel is San Joaquin Audits. It was another channel from East LA, East Los Audits. He's a really good channel. I really love that guy. He's awesome.
Yes.
And so a lot of us were there, and that's my craziest video story.
Did they come out with guns? Did
Oh,
they-
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
so that's what I'm saying. Describe more. I want to hear more details.
Oh, it was they were like set up for a riot, almost like a protest and stuff. They were setting up
And what they say to you, and what was your response, and how did it just clear up?
Well, we ended up talking to several officers. I think like the sergeants came in and they just let everybody know there's nothing we can do, just go. And so I was like, you guys are all dismissed. You guys are all dismissed.
Yeah, he's telling them you're dismissed. You're dismissed.
And did they kick you off the property?
No, we
Well,
didn't have.
they were
And
telling
did you
them
say, hey guys, we have our rights to be here? There's
Yeah.
nothing that says
wasn't
no
there people
trespassing.
in the hallways like, you can't film in here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
where does it say we
Yeah,
can't film?
yeah,
You know,
'cause if it does-
like I was watching it, dude. I've seen it.
you've seen this
Oh,
video?
yeah, dude.
Oh,
like
this-
said,
I gotta go find it
like,
now.
I watched these guys, bro. Like I'm
San
sitting in
Joaquin
the-
Valley Transparency. That's a good story. I can't wait to watch that
Oh,
one.
if-
And what about you, Jay Surreal Camera? What is your good one?
All right, about 2 weeks ago, I was visiting in Virginia, and I pull up on this stop. They had a guy pulled over. It was a DUI stop.
You had no idea. You just were driving. and
So,
seeing-
yeah, we just ran into the car. So we pull over, we get out of the car, we start filming. They see that we're filming. The guy fails his DUI test. We think that he passed, but they said he failed. Whatever. So they call a tow truck on him, right? So when they call the tow truck, his sister shows up because I guess he had called his sister. Hey, I'm getting pulled over. His sister shows up to the scene. She's like, listen, we live 2 blocks away. Is there any way that we could please,
Yeah,
take the
let us-
car? Let us
yeah.
take the car. No, we already called the tow truck, so that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. So I got pissed off. So I went, I had to speak to the sergeant. I spoke to the other 2 officers. I said, hey, listen, if this was your family member, would you guys want them, to
lose
have to
their
pay this
car?
and lose their car? He's already having a bad night, okay? He
Right.
got a DUI. He made a mistake. We're human. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to make him now pay.
His wife's
So
here.
You literally
his
went to the-
sister, his sister was there. I'm
You
saying
went to
his-
the cops and
so
filmed this and asked
I
this,
started.
huh?
I started talking to each and every
That's
one of them.
ballsy of you to do that.
And as soon as I did that, I guess they thought about it, and guess what they did? They called off the tow truck.
Nice.
I swear to God, they called off the
Yeah.
tow truck.
That makes you
So
feel good,
I got
dog.
a lot of
I was
got a
expecting
lot
you
of
to get
prospects.
pushed or punched or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was like, where's the story gonna
but
go?
Let me
Shut
tell you
up.
something. But everybody was saying it. They always say that the cops have like this side deal with the tow trucks, and usually when they call a tow truck, there's no way. There's no way that they're gonna stop it.
Yeah.
So that was weird that they did stop it, and I feel like it was a good thing. It was a good thing.
Yeah,
That is a
that
great
was.
story.
That's-
That's
Pe-
phenomenal.
People
story.
said they've never seen that before, so
I've never heard. I was
Yeah.
expecting that you were going to get your ass kicked or something stupid. You know what I mean? Happened out of this. That is unbelievable. Wolfie Gladly TV. What is something? Maybe out of New Jersey. Maybe it happened somewhere else, like Jay's did. What is your great crazy story?
Well, here's your ass kicking video right here.
There you go. Hey, kick the white guy up. This is what I want to hear.
The craziest video I was ever a part of was a video we were filming at the Philadelphia Gas Works. It's owned by the city. It's huge. They sponsor the sports teams around there, the professional sports teams and everything. And we went and we filmed the perimeter of it, and a security guard came hustling out. Big tall guy, 6'6", steel toe boots, hard hat on his head, and he comes up to shake my hand, and he gave me the handshake trick and smacked my phone out of the other hand, and then started pushing us around. A group of people came out that worked there. We were like, "Yo, did you see what happened?" But this isn't it yet. This isn't it yet, right? So a woman pulls up in her car. And we're like, who is this, security or something like that?
Right.
So we go to film her, and she's doing U-E's in the street to try to avoid her plate being read by our cameras. So she gets mad, gets out of her car, starts attacking one of the guys that was filming with us. When she starts doing that, it triggers the 6'6" guy again to come out. So he comes out and he shoves my friend Southeastern PA to the
Got it all on
ground.
camera.
Yeah, Southeastern PA Community Watch was slammed to the ground. Meanwhile, the girl that's attacking the other guy, she's throwing bricks and rocks and sticks at him. And there's a lawsuit pending, which I can't really talk about. But the comments in there, they're like, "This is the craziest thing that I've ever seen in all my years."
I saw it.
And did they rough you up even more after that too, or did they let you guys go?
They fled the scene. The cops came. They just took a report You know, they did nothing.
They just basically.
I mean,
said,
and that's
"You
what's
deserved
crazy
it."
about everything that
That's
you
what they
guys
felt,
do,
right?
because
Like,
you're
what?
one moment away from it going crazier south, right? I
Right.
mean, you're
Yes,
literally
yeah.
1 second
Yes. Yeah,
of
that's-
you don't know the impulse of the police officer. And once again, I love police officers, right? I got a lot of friends that have been cops, but I hate fucking bad cops.
That's what.
And it's
we're
not
here
like
for.
I don't support the police. I know I love the police. I'm not about fuck the police. I'm about cops are serving and protecting. And there's a million good ones. It's been a few bad apples that have given this whole police overall a bad name.
There's a lot more than a few, unfortunately.
Well, exactly. I agree with that too. More crazy.
You got to change the whole. The whole thing's got to change. It's
Yes.
not going to change for the people that are there. It's going to change from the new people that we get in as police officers and teach them from the get-go to protect and serve. Not your first 6 months, you're learning how to do all the fucking shady shit and tricky shit and trick you into shit. And when they talk to you, and
well, it's taught
there's
hand
no
down,
use for
right?
that. Either you
They're looking for
or
it.
you didn't.
They're looking for a reason. They're
Yep.
looking for it. They're not looking.
We got to
to
change
protect.
that. It's the culture of the ones that are in there now. It's just they're gonna have to all get old and die or retire or
You know, I'll
get
t-
caught doing what they're doing illegally.
I'll tell you one of the things that
Guys
you know,
like this, we're getting closer and closer to cops getting in trouble because they're being held accountable by way
Yes.
of video.
And it's funny as you say guys like this, and it's guys like this too, judging a book by its cover. I mean, let's just face it, you guys, as we all look, I mean, we cleaned up our look. It was the bald-headed Mexican back in the day. And I'm sure you guys were even rougher looking earlier on too, but it's guys like us up here, even you know what I mean, in the
Just
neighborhoods,
young,
young, crazy,
Yes.
but now you guys are out there, like you said, trying to serve these young
Philanthropy.
broker kids. That was a great example of why you're doing it. I loved hearing
Yeah.
that because it's so true. These kids, and I don't care what neighborhood you're in. Some kids think, you know, the rich areas, they think they know I could do this. I could, motherfucker, you can't actually,
Right.
or you can. You got to know the difference. But for all you guys out there filming them and putting your lives at risk.
And I think
Yeah.
he had some questions, Joe.
And he did. That's what I was going to lead to.
That actually sets up exactly what I wanted to talk about. So
Craig.
I think about, I brainstorm all the time, right? I brainstorm what are the solutions to the problems, you know? And I always bring up three things, right? And it's a policy, a police policy. What could we change or at least put on the table and readjust and figure out what the issues are? You know, what can we do? And these three things, and I always like to put that on there, is one of them is qualified immunity. Nobody was talking about qualified immunity. I had never seen it in my comment section. Nobody was talking about it. And then a couple
Elaborate. What do you mean?
Qualified immunity. It's a thing where police officers say that they did their job in good faith, and there's no well-established law saying that the officer could not have done that or something like that, that he didn't violate a right. And it also brings other issues. I feel like sometimes lawyers will know that officers will get off on qualified immunity, and they'll still take the money
Well, those
anyways,
lawyers
right?
are assholes. All of them are.
Yeah.
But this brings up
brothers-in-law.
the three policies that I believe that could be put on the table is qualified immunity, internal investigations, and police unions. If we could figure out a way to readjust this, we might be able to fix policing in America. First of all, like especially going into these training facilities, we also got a really good video that same day from the LAPD at the LA Sheriff's training facility as well. That one was really good as well, just as good as the other one. But it brings those topics, qualified immunity, internal investigations.
Well,
and
yeah, qualified immunity should be just done. Terry
Right.
v. Ohio
Yeah.
and all those lines of cases.
Yep.
That
Yes.
Yes.
that just needs to be overturned. And I think with what's going on and with video, I think even though it's still there, you know, these cops that are being prosecuted and being charged and found guilty of is because you can't tell me that after this point in time, the fucking force against force stops.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and before the era of videos, there was their word, and then there was that's it.
Yes.
And now you got their word, and now you got the fucking truth that's right in front of your
Exactly.
goddamn eyes. And that's eating away a little bit, but you still have these guys that don't care. They're still going to get videoed. It's got to start from
Right.
the bottom up, man. They got to root out all the old guys who are under that old, you know, it's us against them.
And
Yeah,
changing the
that's what
names,
it
though.
is.
Remember when we heard
Yeah,
that
so-
changing
so-
the names?
so-
Now they have
what
the
I was-
blue line flag.
Yeah,
Like-
well, the one thing I was saying, and not to cut you off, is changing. First of all, starts with training.
Right.
Their training is to be very forceful and very assertive and take control of the situation, right? For safety purposes is what they've said, but that becomes a very catalyst into abuse and now having to hide their abuse, and so now there becomes corruption, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one thing I would say to help change. The second thing I would say is stop calling them lieutenants. Stop calling them sergeants.
Yes.
Stop calling them, because these are lieutenants and sergeants, and these things are military names. You know, so you got them. You know, call them a
Manager,
supervisor. You know,
lead.
they don't
That's
taking that name away.
I love
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
I love
Because
that.
that
I came
name.
up with it.
No, you
That's great. That's great.
The reason I say that is because that name that they're using, that lieutenant this and supervisor that implies that you're in war. You know, because that's what
it's all
training's
military
about.
based.
That's what I just
Who's
said.
the
The
enemy?
blue line flag.
Yeah.
The blue line flag. We take it as it's us against them.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
why should they be able to have that? Why? Yeah, why? What's up
It's a
with
gang.
that?
When,
Exactly.
when you're arrested, you're a prisoner of war. I always tell people that. Don't say anything until you're out of there, because the whole time you're a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
There
You
you
are
go.
a prisoner of war. You know, and that's those are the two
Our
things.
script applies to that as well.
Yeah, and we'll let you guys get to the script after this break. But I do want to say that the two things that I would highly think that you guys should be preaching out there is to change the training, because the training, if you go back and look at their training has been the same for the last 50 years,
If not longer.
If not longer, right? And so
Okay.
their training needs to
100.
be. Yeah, changed. You know, they implement new things, but they're just more new violent tactics.
When you go into the colored areas, like
and
what
then-
the fuck? It's a training video.
yeah,
like what?
What are you talking about?
and then again, the names, they don't need to be lieutenants and sergeants. You know what I mean? We should be like, hey, I want to talk to your manager. You know, because
Exactly.
you're a manager, bro. You're not a lieutenant. You're not
Right.
at military. We're not at war.
Yeah, you're not special.
You know what I mean? So those are the two things I would throw at that.
Yeah, not only that, when we
Makes
come
sense.
back, I got a few more questions. And I also, Mark, get ready and locked and loaded with the slam poem, because I want these boys to hear it as it goes hand in hand in what they're doing, and maybe they can see something and do something with it. I want you to teach them that as well as a script. And I want to tell everybody about Viscus Vape, the ultimate cannabis vape experience. Viscus is a premier vape brand born in Venice Beach, delivering the maximum potency you could expect from the Viscus brand. Live the ride with the most pleasant tasting, ultra potent, and super smooth cartridges on the market. Viscus.life is the website. And we come back, Cannabis Talk 101. We got the high five with San Joaquin Valley Transparency, Jay Surreal Camera, and Wolfie Gladly TV. We'll be right back after this.
Let's
Do it.
It's Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. With Blue, Joe Grande, Mark and Craig Wasserman, the Pot Brothers at Law. Listen to the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show now.
Take a hit, get lit, and sit back and enjoy Cannabis Talk 101 with Mark and Craig, the Pop Brothers at Law, Blue, and Big Joe Grande. Joe, what's going on this last segment?
Well, you know what? I still want to continue talking before we get into the high five, because when we went to break, I mean, we're just having some great conversations off air, and I look at you, Jay, and I think from Jay Surreal Camera, you definitely have a look that I'm catching on even more and more as I'm staring at you. I didn't realize the whole head was tattooed. I looked, and your face. I mean, I've seen the ones on your
Bam
face.
Bam
and the piercings.
Bigelow, bro.
And the funny thing is, why I sit here and laugh and I held my comments is, like, you're one of the coolest fucking dudes, right?
Yeah,
Like, you're just
thank
so
you, man.
nice, so
Yeah,
genuine.
appreciate
But
it.
I would
Yeah.
think that stereotype that people have to get by, especially when you come out with the cops. I mean, and each of you guys carry that look too of almost, because I mean, David, no disrespect, that San Joaquin hard look of, Bakersfield on your face before you smile. You don't know if you're gonna pull out a cueta or what. You know what I mean? It's like you got this straight look, and then you got a smile and this and that. And, Wolfie Gladly, you too. You look like, you could be the psycho dude in the corner that's ready to go fucking nuts after you pull out your camera.
I might be.
Yeah.
he
My
might.
point behind that is all three of you guys have this look that can be judged by a book, right? That I'm
Yes.
sitting here that we could all amongst each other have fun with and talk about. And does that ever make you more even nervous, knowing when you're walking up to an event where cops are out there with their guns and with everything going, holy shit, do I say who I am? Do I say it's a YouTube channel? How do I break that ice? Because looking at, especially you, Jay, from the first look, you just see all three of you guys walk up. Jay Surreal Camera's going to get the hardest look because he's
Always.
just got this fucking look that, oh my God, what prison did you just get out of?
Yeah, that's what they do. They try to always push me back and everything. And you know what is funny? I tell them, I said, if you ain't doing anything wrong, what's the issue with the cameras? You know what I'm saying? I tell them, I say, listen, I'm a tattoo artist. And sometimes when I tattoo people, I got 20. I've had up to 30 people behind me, family members, friends, watching their friends get tatted. I'm not doing anything wrong, so what do I care if they're filming? So why do the cops care if we're filming? What are they trying to hide? Why are they pushing us back? Why don't they want us to hear what's going on? It's our First Amendment right to know.
Yeah, I can answer that though. It's because they expect people not to know the rights. They're trained to go out there and run everybody through the system, make sure they don't have warrants, you know, and they do a lot of their bullying tactics. They do it under. They make it seem like they're gonna arrest you. Oh, we were only asking for ID. We weren't really demanding it. Right, but they're really doing
That's
it.
why you have to know your rights.
They're doing it in a certain form. Exactly.
It just all boils down to still not enough people know their rights.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. If someone's listening and they're like, I want to do the Lord's work like these guys are doing, and they start pulling out their cameras around the world. I'm sure you guys, Mark and Craig, can't talk on laws in other states besides California, but what is the law and rule, at least here in California, if Joe Grande, pulls out my camera on Beach Boulevard and a cop comes up to me, pushes me off, and says, give me your ID?
As long as you're not, well, first of all, as long as you're not interfering, that's a big one there. So you got to really draw that line on, you know, that's one of the excuses that they can use to fuck with you. Is not interfering. So, but 99.9% of the time where you're ultimately standing is not interfering with them.
Yes.
But that's going to be one of the things they try to use when you're filming. Other than that, it's your right to film the fucking police, period. Just don't get in their way.
And Wolfie, you were going to say something?
It's important to know that interference or hindering or obstruction and those type of terms that the police use require some kind of physical element that would prevent that officer from going from point A to point B and back doing his job.
Wow. So
when
if you're sitting on the sideline, you're like, I'm on the sideline. What are you talking about?
That's like now we're standing in their way and talking to the people that they're interviewing or whatever. That's a different story.
Have you guys been pushed or hit or anything like that? Like,
I've been arrested 2 times in the past 5 months.
Shut up. What about you?
When you asked about our most craziest video, I was gonna mention one video, but this video in LA is really important to me. But there's a video that I did a long time ago in Bakersfield, California, at the jury services. The lobby is open. The lobby is open to the public. I went in there, and they held my arm, man. They twisted my arm and they held it for a long time. And he was actually trying to. He was trying to get me to jerk, and he was also trying to hurt my arm, man. He wouldn't let go. And then he would like, when he was pulling my arm, he was pointing at the guy I was with. He was like, "Are you gonna get off the property too?" He was waiting for the other guy to answer to let go of me. Like, that shit didn't make no sense.
Right.
And that's one of my most viral
Did you get
videos.
to sue him? Is that when you're in the front?
I did.
When you're in the front and there's people walking in and the guys, they're standing at the door and they won't let you guys in or whatever. And
how do people get away with this without like? I don't get how they can just get away with it.
They've been doing it for so long, and I'm glad you asked that, because look, I paid some money to a lawyer, and he ended up doxing me to all the police. They started coming to my house. He burned me. So I
never trust any of them.
I walked away from it all, right? I walked away from the lawsuit and all that. I just walked away from it. I didn't know stuff like that, like how to file lawsuits and who to trust or what the hell was going on. I knew it all of this, right? Right now, I'm gonna call these guys, right?
Yeah, there's some bad fucking guys out there.
So yeah, man, that's like.
So do they sweat you at your homes? I mean, you guys got them driving by your
house. I got guns pulled on me the other day.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's right,
Jay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was a crazy story too. I should have said this one. Well, I was cop watching. It's a county called Lee County in Florida. Number one, they don't have body cams. They don't have dash cams. They say they don't have money for it. Okay.
Wow.
So check this out. So we're following this cop. This cop flies right by us. So we're like, wait a second. Let's follow him. Let's see what's going on. He's not using turning signals. He's just speeding. So he ends up turning into this park. So we pull up alongside of him. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as he rolls down the window and we roll down the window, we have to say, hey, why were you speeding? What's going on? Oh, what's your name? Don't worry about our name. Why are you speeding? Is there an emergency? Why aren't you using your turning signals? Right there, he pulls out his gun on us.
Did you have your camera?
Yeah, I have it in my page. Yep.
Wow.
So I ended up going live. But that's to tell you that you can't even speak to police in days.
Yeah.
I could have gotten shot. If I didn't have my camera rolling, they could have shot me. They could have done whatever they wanted.
Planted a gun on
no,
you.
They have no body cams, no dash cams.
Wow.
So thank God for a camera. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that's why we all got to film.
Yeah.
And all I did was ask him a question. All we did was ask him why was he filming and why was he speeding and why wasn't he using his turning signals?
And he wasn't even on his way to a crime. It didn't
nothing.
Feel like he was
Nothing.
he was just being a guy driving. He was speeding like anybody else.
Nothing. And then when he called for backup, they were calling him back on the radio. He turned off his radio on purpose. So when his backup showed up, they all showed up with their guns drawn to make it look like if something happened to him.
Wow.
Come on now.
Jesus, dude.
What are you going to say, Craig? Were you
Slippery.
saying something
That's
over
slippery.
there?
No, just ridiculous.
I mean, it is ridiculous. And not only that, when I think about that, you just said
Bullshit.
you were arrested 2 times in the last 5 months. What were those 2 times for?
I was in Miami and I was just filming outside of a Manipula Center. And then,
Hold on, I want you to say that one more time.
Municipal Center, excuse me, I got my tongue twisted. Municipal.
Let me tell you, Jay, you're and the guy. This is going to make me sensitive because it reminded me of my mother. My mother couldn't say Michelob. She go manip, and you took me right there, and I'm almost like crying in my head because you took me to my mother, dog. So thank you. That's why I wanted you to do it again. And we used to joke with my mom, say Michelob, stop manip. So I just wanted to fuck with you.
All right, I was outside of a municipal center. I was messing with you. It's a municipal center. So I was just filming and basically saw cop cars in the parking lot. It was an open parking lot. I saw regular cars. I was filming. Officers walked up to me, asked me what I was doing. I said, listen, I'm just working on a story, just filming. They ended up asking me for my ID. I said, for what?
Yeah, for what? Cholo
I'm not
TV?
doing anything wrong. I ended up walking away. They followed me 2 blocks down. And then as I got 2 blocks down, they ended up calling their sergeant. And then they ended up telling me that day was a special day, that day they were getting bomb threats. So I said, so what you're trying to tell me is that on this day, just because you get bomb threats, my rights stopped?
Right. What do you mean? What does
So
that
they
mean?
say they ended up asking me for my ID. I didn't give them my ID. I didn't fold, and they ended up arresting me. They charged me with loitering and prowling. And number one, what they don't understand is
loitering. How are you loitering?
Exactly.
You were walking.
Loitering is when you're standing around without a purpose. If I have a camera in my hand and I'm filming something, that's not loitering anymore.
Right, that's not a...
Well, what about bird watching? I mean, is that loitering? If I'm sitting there fucking watching the birds, now that's loitering? What's my purpose? I just want to look at the birds, look at the trees. I can't do that?
We don't know if you're really doing that. That's how they act. We don't know if you're really doing that.
Yeah, they started saying I was being... They said I was being suspicious.
How do I know you're not a criminal?
Yeah.
How do I know?
Yeah.
Who are you to know? Who are you for me?
Yeah,
What do you say?
Yeah, they said it was being suspicious walking around their building. I said it's suspicious. Is it a felony or a misdemeanor?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Neither.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or I'm just here thinking.
Yeah, right.
It's just crazy what these cops can get
about?
away with sometimes, and how we're just so taught to just deal with it.
That brings up another thing: is if and when we the people actually, and I don't like to really consider myself as being special. I'm only one of the people, bro, doing this, and I try to encourage everybody to do this. But when we record cops and they actually get in trouble, because of the whatever, when the cops get in trouble, first and foremost, we pay for their attorneys. The people do, okay? We have to pay for our own attorneys. How does that work, anyways? And if and when the cop actually gets in trouble and gets sued,
fucking point, dog.
and when the cop actually gets sued, right? That money doesn't come from the officer, bro. That money still comes from us. Yeah. We still fork that. The constituents still fork out that money.
Yep.
So how is even that a sustainable system?
Wow.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Those are great points, man.
That's why more people have to run for city council.
Yes.
Younger generation.
We need to get you guys in office.
Have to run for.
Stay back a little.
Can you say that louder?
Yeah, please.
But you know what, Craig? Even as you say that, we need to vote. I mean, is it voting or is voting going to make those
people
changes?
running for it's new people,
new management,
getting
not
in
sergeants.
at the city council level and actually changing things.
Shout out to
they would
changes,
though,
making changes on who's recruited.
My point is, I come in as a job with the city, right? Now I work with the city. Guess who else works for the city? Officer Blue here. So now I work for the city.
Don't call me officer.
No, but I'm just saying this in general, right? And I work for the city, and we both now work for the city. And now I'm supposed to. My point is, I'm supposed to go, hey, man, you're going to have to pay for your own fucking shit if you guys get busted.
No.
And I'm a city worker, you're a city worker.
They should have insurance.
My point is very hard.
Yes. They should have
their own fucking insurance.
They should have their own insurance that represents them just like all of us have to. You know what I mean? I mean, not that
and they pay into it?
We have prepaid legal. You know what I'm saying? You could pay into prepaid legal right now as a.
You can get
as a
Mark and Craig
citizen.
right now
That's
for
why you have
$80,000
police. You can
insurance.
retain a police. I mean, you could retain some attorneys. So why not have them get some kind of a legal service that they pay into every year out of their pocket that allows them to? That's a good point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's
I
a
actually
very
really like
simple
that point a lot.
solution.
Thank you.
It's a solution right there. Pay into it every year, bro. And after you retire, basically the 10 people or the 50 people or the 150 people that put into it, if you guys didn't lose it all from being assholes, then you
Bam.
might get it back.
Bam.
How
There you
about
go.
that?
Boom.
There you
I
go.
like it. I love
There you
that.
go.
It's
That's
the only time
awesome.
anybody's gonna ever hear me say I back
Blue
this
for
blue right here.
president. We back the blue.
This is the only blue that I back.
Exactly. Not that blue.
And you
Yeah.
guys, I want to give you guys a treat because I don't know if San Joaquin Valley Transparency or Jay's Surreal Camera or Wolfie Gladly TV has really ever heard the slam poem, because this slam poem, as it relates to cannabis heavily, it could also relate to anything.
Yes.
And I think your audience and your people and you guys should really know this as well as the script. And once we do the slam poem, we'll go back over the script because the slam poem is the elaborate version of the script. Mark, I want to give you a platform right now to really go over that slam poem without yelling so loud into the mic because for some reason we're having a little technical difficulties.
How's this? If I'm like
Well, you
this,
can come closer to it. Just don't.
Yeah, don't
project.
put your
Further
lips
away.
on it.
Do
dude.
not
You're-
project so loudly. So just talk normally in the
Right here?
Right there's
Further
fine.
away.
Right there's fine.
That's
so
good.
Mark,
Okay.
please give these gentlemen the slam poem.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
Put
Yeah.
on his
Gloves
shades.
on.
Awesome.
Am I being detained or am I free to go? This is what to say. My lawyer tells me so. The cops are out there doing a job. Sometimes they must contain a mob, a thankless job that saves many lives. At their home are worried children, husbands, and wives. But does that give them the right to stomp on my rights? So we are here for you, the cannabis community, to fight, to let you know it's okay to just shut the fuck up when cops ask questions. You start with, I'm not discussing my day, end with, I invoke the fifth. These ain't suggestions. These are words to live by, to memorize. See, it's not about the size of that cop's gun, because they want you to run. So they could pull that macho gun and shoot you for fleeing the scene. Some cops are just plain mean. We must shut it off, shut it down, those feelings of anger that instantly come around when that cop has to show his power and his might without cause, without reason, and we know they're not right. We must remain calm. Keep the devil sleeping on the left shoulder. We must be cold, even colder. Ice must flow through your veins to shut that heat. The blood that rushed your brain straight from your feet when that cop disrespected you, cuz you wouldn't tell him what that smell was. And he accuses you of a pot DUI because he absolutely knows that you're buzzed. But see, they can't tell and they don't know. Only if you tell them so. Oh, officer, I smoked a joint a few hours ago. Officer, here's my medical record. Officer, I'm a marijuana patient. We live in America. Prohibition still exists. That cop's going to do whatever he's going to do. 50-50, he arrests you. Give us a chance to represent you with a defense that's blazing. Let us show you in court we're amazing. But we could only do that if you listen to our tips. Now let me see you move your lips. You know the drill. When the cops ask questions, we say, I'm not discussing my day. Am I being detained or am I free to go? I invoke the fifth. And then you
shut the fuck up. I love it.
It's all about
That
what you
was
say and
awesome.
what you do. We have given you the script. We are telling you what to say. We are telling you what to do. We put your hands up in protection mode. But should you take a shot to the jaw, we will be here fighting for the cannabis community and all citizens because we are the Pot Brothers at law.
Yeah. There you go. Man, that was great.
Great job, Craig.
Yeah,
Great job.
I wrote it. Mark, yeah. Okay.
Tell him, Craig. Tell him.
Awesome.
And that right there, in my opinion, I mean, I love it. We see it and hear it all the time, but I really do love that poem because everything's in there. And it's kind of everything that you guys, as you heard, I see you and feel you. You're listening, going, "Damn! I wish everybody would do that. I wish the cops would understand that." And Mark wrote that so elegantly. And Craig, thank you for stamping that and letting him say it today.
Thank you. And then, do you guys know the script? Do you guys know the Pot Brothers at Law script?
I've seen them say it several times on like the Instagram.
Test them,
even.
Mark and Craig. Test them,
No,
please.
just do it. Don't test them on it. Just do the script so they know the script, because the script, I think, goes hand in hand with, a lot of the message to the people that you guys got, because, a lot of people.
We need to get them a whole box of cards that they can hand out to people.
Oh, I have a
will.
box here, actually. I'll give them a box.
Give it to them.
All right, I will.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, and,
Awesome.
and I
Here you
just
guys
think
box your
it's
cards.
important, why'd you pull me over? I'm not discussing my day.
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
And
if detained, you say what you have to say. I invoke the fifth, and then you shut the fuck up.
There you go. You know what I mean?
That's
So
the script.
You just did it.
yeah, it's super, tight and simple, and that, everybody should have in their vehicles. Everybody should always be utilizing the script, and I really, when I look at what you guys are doing, man, it's a job that is difficult. You know what I mean? You guys put your own risk at lives to help others.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You put your own lives at risk to help others, and I think that's fantastic. And you made you're obviously a minority. You also come from a poor, or maybe a background where that you were messed with by cops, because you were saying
Look
some
young
of these
and
younger
look
kids
poor,
that
yeah.
don't have it. And you come from a city where they have the biggest crime or murder by police officers. So when I start looking into why? It's not because, hey, fuck the cops. It's because, hey, there's people that don't know their rights. There's people that are getting taken advantage of, and we're trying to make that stop.
Yes.
And that's fucking awesome, you guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't hate cops. I love cops. I do hate, bad cops that are fucking with people for no reason, and they turn and twist, the thoughts of, what's going really on. Like you might have something going on. I've seen them plant things. I've personally, as a youngster, been completely cuffed up and lined up and sprayed everybody with mace and told everybody, who's the biggest gang right here? You know what I mean? And we're like, wow, crying and shit. You are, you know what I'm saying? We're 16.
Oh yeah, I've been messed
we're
with by
15,
police a bunch
16.
of times too.
You're talking about, don't get me wrong. They get shot at. They got a job that is very difficult too. Horrible. They do things, and some of them lose
People
their
are
lives.
so fucking horrible to them.
And
Out of left field, wrong.
And people lose their lives trying, and they lose their lives trying to help people.
Just
too.
concentrate on that shit is what has to happen.
But again, it's just the small change that I think that can help, and is maybe changing the name of what they are, not sergeants and to managers, and maybe getting these small little changes, and then some new training in there.
You need to get new people. Those name change ain't gonna do fucking shit.
Well, there's some old time
They
heads
need
that are
to
still
change
running
people.
though.
They need to change attitudes.
Yes.
Attitudes need to be changed.
Well, what we need to do is change the
You're not going to
direction.
change them. You're not going to change those.
And we need
who
to
are in
have
there
a little
because-
fun right now and do a little high five with these three
Let's do
gentlemen.
that, Joe.
You know what I mean? Let's go in that direction. And when we do this, let's just start from the far end of the table. So we'll start with you, Jay. You could answer the question first. Then we'll head to Wolfie. And then, of course, San Joaquin Valley Transparency. We'll wrap up the question. It'll be the same question for all three of you guys. Okay, so we'll just go down the road, lady by lady, looking real cute.
Now, here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
Question number one.
Shots fired.
Yeah, you know me. I like you guys. There we go. Question number one of the high five. How old were you the first time you smoked cannabis, and where'd you get it from?
I was 13, and it was with my older brother. He's 3 years older than me.
Nice.
So he had it. He
out
had
there
it
in Florida?
Yeah, it was in Miami, Florida. He had it.
All right, and what about you, Wolfie?
I was 15 years old. And what was that second part?
Who gave it to you?
Who gave it to you?
Oh, my friend who ended up becoming my dealer.
Well, hey, he started as your dealer there, right?
He started and left it, huh? Still dealing it.
The old game never changes. Try this.
Yes.
Where can I get more? Let me know. I got it.
There
for
we
you.
go.
What about you, Dave?
I was 14 years old, and my cousin Tony came to live in town, and he introduced me, and since then, my life has been great.
Yes.
Not a dull moment.
That is
Yeah.
wonderful. Craig, go ahead.
What is your favorite way to use cannabis?
I like to smoke blunts.
Nice.
That's
got
my
some
favorite.
raps for you. I
Philly,
got some nice raps for
Swisher, what is it?
Whichever.
Whatever, just a blunt.
Whichever. I just
I
love
got some
blunts.
good raps for
I
you.
love it. Yeah, we got some. Wolfie, what about you?
I like bowls because they're fresh.
Yeah, just a straight bowl. Nice.
Just a nice, clean glass bowl, right? I'm sure.
I
Oh, you got a
use a food grade Teflon bowl.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
different. Okay, why is that?
Easier to clean.
Nice.
Keeps it nice and fresh and clean. I love that. What about you, San Joaquin?
Bongs. I love bongs. I got a bong collection.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Like
bongs.
the full-on collection.
Ever since I was a kid, I've had bongs.
What's the most expensive bong you bought?
$1,000.
Nice.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
They
why I
got
know
50,
you.
20,
That's because
50,
they're so
$100,000
crazy
bongs.
expensive.
Oh, there's some real ones out there. All right, guys. Question number 3 of the high five: craziest place you've ever used or smoked cannabis?
Craziest place in jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Woo, that's
Where-
serious.
Where were you at?
I was in a holding cell.
No, yeah, I
In
did
Miami.
I did too in a holding cell.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
LA,
We smoked. Yeah,
years
yes,
ago.
The
when I
guy
was
came
young.
in. And
He had it in the
already
hoop.
ready.
Yeah.
We smoked it up in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same
That's
thing.
great.
He was
Mine
on the
as
toilet
well.
for about 15 minutes, and then bang, it came out, and it was bow.
It was done. We kept flushing the toilet and blowing
blowing
the
it in,
smoke in the toilet. And we would flush.
Did they catch you? Did they smell it?
Nope.
Oh, lucky you. Lucky you. Wolfie?
On top of a water tower.
Oh, no
Out
shit.
there in Philly or New Jersey?
New Jersey. My apartment complex that I used to live in when I was a teenager had this water tower, and we knew how to rig our way into the pump station room. So we got the little extension ladder access. We knew how to do it. We put it back when we were done. We used to go up there for 4th of
Crazy
July.
dumb shit,
No
right?
shit.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
let's
that's
go hide
dope.
up here.
That's
I know we
dope,
could die, but fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. It was fun, though, huh? You had the best view in town.
4th of July was really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. San Joaquin?
Oh man, as much as I'd like to say jail because I have smoked in jail, basically just at home in my room, man. I used to try to hide it from my mom and put the towel on the bottom, and I just blow it out the window. And one day she popped her head up right when I was blowing it out the window. I got you, cabrón. And I was like, oh damn! I closed the window and I was pacing.
Where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna start right where?
That was scary, bro. That was scary. Scarier than jail.
Yeah, right?
Hey, that prison guard at home, Mamacita's just a lot different, dude. We
Very different.
Go ahead, Mark.
All right, question number 4 of the Cannabis Talk 101 High Five. Guys, what is your go-to munchies after you get high?
Oh, I like Oreo cookies and milk. I eat it like cereal.
Nice.
Just put them in a big old bowl.
Yep, and eat it like cereal. That's my favorite.
Put milk in it and everything.
That's
huh?
my
Diabetic
favorite.
special. I love it.
Dead serious.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
just-
favorite.
Yeah, I never tried that.
That's
Just
cookie
chopping it
fresh.
up and you know what I
Yep,
mean?
eat it like cereal.
That's the one.
With a little ice cream, maybe too. Maybe I've tried all of that too. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Wolfie.
maybe I've tried all of it.
Oh, I like a barbecued bacon cheeseburger.
Nice.
Nice.
From any particular spot?
Not really, just as long as it's blackened.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like it. That sounds
Nice.
wonderful.
A
actually.
little charred. Huh? Like,
Yes,
That's a
well
good
I like
done.
it to taste like 4th of July.
Nice. Let's go.
There
You just
go.
really took me to a place right now in my mouth. I'm like, oh yeah,
I
I know that burger. What about you, San Joaquin?
Oh man, to be honest, everything. Whatever's in the pantry, whatever's in the fridge, whatever I can put together, man. I'm just guys, baby, you got any more? Guys.
Whatever it takes, right there. It's Cannabis Talk 101 High Five with San Joaquin Valley Transparency and Jay Surreal Camera, as well as Wolfie Gladly TV. Question number 5 of the High Five: if you could smoke cannabis with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why, Jay?
It would be with Jim Carrey because I feel like he would make me laugh until I die.
He's one of those great, Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Back in the
He's my
days,
favorite.
to
I
all
got
the
a huge
movies.
sense of humor, and that's my favorite.
What's your favorite movie or skit, or is there something that just stands out of one of like, oh my god?
No, my favorite movie is Ace Ventura Part 1. That's his classic. I mean, come on.
Ace Ventura.
I mean, like I always shout out my boy Noel G when the monkey came out of his ass in that movie.
That's
Noel's
great.
the
And that's
homie.
part 2.
Oh, is that part 2?
That's part 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That's
Ace
part two.
Ventura. It was still a good one,
Yes.
and he is one of the funniest ones.
Oh, that
The
was
Mask is good too. That's another
Mask was
classic.
great.
No,
Yes.
no, that was Liar Liar with the bum monkey coming out his ass.
Oh, was it Liar Liar?
Oh yeah, it was Liar Liar. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Yeah, it was. I
Look
got
at
mixed
Mr.
up, yes.
fucking social media over there, the old guy of the
Yes.
group. Thank you, Craig.
It was Bruce
Welcome
Almighty,
to the
Craig.
Bruce
Yes,
Almighty. No,
Bruce
Almighty.
Bruce Almighty. But that just
Go.
shows you how many
Fucking
Bruce
idiot,
Almighty
Craig.
hits that dude had.
I went from thank you, Craig. Go, shut up, Craig. If you don't
Even Click was good.
Ace
You know
Ventura
that?
2, I was thinking about when he came out of the Rhino. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
Was it
No.
Yes?
when
Was
he
it-
came out of the Rhino.
Hey, was it Yes or what was it when he was like
Yes,
Yes,
Man.
Yes, man. Yes.
He's had a lot of. Hey, he's one of those actors, though. You're right. I
he's
agree.
the
That's a fun
greatest.
one. To
Oh, he's
go
great.
With.
Oh, he
Yeah.
would be great with.
He was in a great series, a drama series called Doing Time on Maple Drive.
That was
What was that on, Mark? I don't know this show.
That's an old. I think it was like a Fox TV series.
Well, I
Long
can
time
even
ago.
remember him back in Living Color.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, Fire Marshal Bill when he was
Fire
in Fire
Marshal
Marshal
Bill.
Bill.
That was the.
Tell this-
All his characters were funny.
I just
Let me
referenced
tell you something.
Yeah. I just referenced Fire Marshal Bill this past weekend. I mean, it was just like such a great thing. So,
Yes.
Wolfie, what about you? Dead or alive? Who would it be?
Adam Sandler.
Nice.
Adam Sandler. He was the guy that was in Click. Not.
Oh, was it Adam Sandler?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and as we say
Sandler's
Adam
great.
Sandler, why Adam Sandler?
I just like his little funny voices. I used to really love the CDs he used to come out. Mom, they're all gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Mama, you're cock and balls. Yeah.
I mean,
Back
the
and
song,
balls.
the Jewish holiday song, is still one of the most classic songs that he ever
Crazy
came up with
Nights.
on Saturday Night Live when he was a cast member there. Till this day, that's one of the holiday songs. That turkey for you, turkey for me. Dude is just a classic. I mean, his movies are funny. Those are two good random actors that you guys pulled out of your asses. I like that. Dead or alive? Which direction are you going?
Oh man, well I got it. I marked it off my bucket list. I actually got to smoke with OG Louis, so I got to take that off my bucket list.
Was
right?
he one of the cats that you were thinking of?
I mean, of course,
Right.
OG Louis, shout out.
Yeah.
But in reality, Bob Dylan.
I knew it.
He's been my dude changed my life. I grew up without a pops, so I always looked for father figures in other people, you know. And Bob Dylan is an activist, not just a musician. He's the one that got Reuben Hurricane Carter out of prison with the song.
Yeah.
Remember that movie? So
Yeah.
I've always adapted to men doing good things, and Bob Dylan, like I said, he changed my life, and I still listen to his music to this very day. If I ever get a chance to smoke with Bob Dylan, if you guys, anybody could hook that up, that would make a dream come true.
Did you and for you to be vulnerable to say that without a pops growing up, did you really look at Bob Dylan in a way of learning from his music and learning from his direction in life that he was doing? Did you really take to that?
Yeah, I think I always just looked for guidance, you know, besides of what my mom left me, but looked for guidance and good role models, good men, you know. So Bob Dylan to me definitely is one of those.
You know that
That's
movie,
dope.
The Hurricane, right? That was
Yeah.
based on it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That I mean, that movie. If you haven't seen that movie,
Crazy.
man, that is one of the best movies out. I mean, that
that was a
is
good movie.
so deep, dude, and
Yes.
you know, it just shows like how many. I mean, there's still people in prison to this day, you guys, that are wrongly accused, that were convicted for crimes they haven't done.
Yes.
And you know, and there was all the kids. There was another one with all the kids that they got arrested too, and all of them were getting charged with you know, I think rape or murder or something like that, and you know, they found out that all those kids weren't, you know, either. You know, I mean, there's so many people in there. So
Yes.
you know, again, what you guys are doing is something dear to my heart.
We
because
all admire it,
It needs
man.
to be
Thank you.
done.
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
It's not easy, man, doing that shit. Be safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Sincerely, is there anything else that we missed while we're here, man?
I just want to give a shout out. When I got my guns pulled, when they pulled the guns out on me, I was with my friend Open Government Investigation, so I wanted to give a shout out to him because he was the one driving, and he's one of my partners. So I just want to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
It's always
right on.
scary when you're trying to do something. The cops come at you with guns. I did 49 days in jail, and the cops pulled the guns out on me for doing a prank one time. And they came at me all over the way, and I was like, "It's a prank. It's a joke." And they, do these guns to your head
that
look
in
like a
San
fucking
Jose?
joke? It was actually Burlingame area in the Bay Area. I don't know if you knew, Craig. I did radio in the Bay Area. I know you don't know my history, but guys, it's a joke because people always mention that's what he's doing. He's being an asshole again to me, and nobody else gets to realize what he's doing to me but me and him, which is fun. And all four of us actually, we get to get.
As long as I make myself laugh.
Exactly. But thank you guys, man, for coming
Whoopi,
here.
anything else before we let you out of here?
Yeah, I just wanted to give like a quick plug to Sativa Cross. They're a group of jovial medical marijuana patients in New Jersey. Once a month, they go to the State House in the Capitol in Trenton and have a smoke out on the front lawn. If you look them up on YouTube and then you search in "Ignorance is No Excuse," you'll find all the videos of them smoking weed out front of police stations. They go in, they roll their weed up on the table. Oh, it's
At
windy
the police
outside.
station?
Because in New Jersey's the only state where if you're a medical marijuana patient with a card, you can smoke wherever you can smoke cigarettes. So if there's a cigarette butt can in front of the police station. You can smoke there.
Oh, wow.
Some of the cops are like, "Whoa, what are you doing? You can't do that." And they're like, "Yo, I got a card. And they explain it to them.
Nice.
It's quite interesting.
Wow.
That's quite gangster. I'm
Yeah, sativa cross ignorance is no excuse.
Yeah, San Joaquin. Anything else before we let you get on out of here, man?
I want to give a shout out to my 3 sons who also do what I do. I appreciate them tremendously. I love you guys. I also want to give a shout out to Jersey Watcher in Jersey, who's also running for mayor. He does what we do.
Yes.
There's James McClinnis, who ran for sheriff. He lost, but we have people.
That was our Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
We interviewed him.
Yeah, he's from Florida.
Oh, matter of fact, he's the one that said that, isn't he?
We interviewed him.
that's
Constitutional
awesome,
sheriff.
Yeah. So we have people that believe in what we do who are actually starting to run for office now. This is amazing.
That's what I said. That's got to change. Once you start changing that, then everything else can change. Until you get new people on board, unfortunately, know your right, shut the fuck up, and always film the police.
Yeah.
Yes.
And shout
Big
out to
time.
many other channels, especially Rights Crispy out in Florida, who's a good friend of mine. Shout out to many channels that are out there that are picking up cameras. I always tell you guys, record police. If you guys record police, send me your videos at recordpolicenow@gmail.com. We'll take a look at them. I want to see new channels, new people picking up cameras every single day. Shout out to all you guys out there who have picked up cameras and recorded police, held them accountable. You're doing it for your communities. Thank you guys.
Yep, I wanted to just really quick say shout out to Wolfie Gladly and San Joaquin because they got me into this. And I just wanted to give a shout out to all the auditors that pick up the cameras and film.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for coming on, man, and thank
bro.
you for sharing your stories with us and doing what you do. And if anything we could do for you guys, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
bro.
very much.
Well, there it is, guys. It's Cannabis Talk 101. We want to thank you for joining the show. And remember this, if no one else loves you, we do.
It's Cannabis Talk 101, the world's #1 source for everything cannabis. With Blue, Joe Grande, Mark and Craig Wasserman, the Pot Brothers-in-Law. Listen to the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the show now.